Whoa. Whoa. I don't know why I start this thing with exclamations of surprise. It's the Lents Pinball Podcast. I'm your host, Nate Stellhorn. This is the only pinball podcast that's always over in under 3 minutes. It's only recorded one time, so I just do it once and then I'm done. That's recently said, once this thing gets big, this is to protect me from having to spend a lot of money on studio time. That's a lie. It's completely untrue. I'm not worried about the payment of studio time once this podcast gets huge. I'll spend that extra little bit of money to make the recording quality better. And first we got to get big, though. It's always over in under 3 minutes, so I don't have to do absolutely any preparation. I basically can just hit record and go. So that's the real honest truth. Only recorded one time. It's about three things. My dog Harold, who is currently living with my lovely girlfriend while I am traveling, and his friend Milo. They're the cutest dog pals in the world. Harold's very, very popular in all the neighborhoods he lives in, especially coffee shops, is what I'm being told. Second thing the podcast is about, Gottlieb, the humanoid pickle, who is the mascot of Lents Pinball, my little tiny pinball business in deep southeast Portland, Oregon, a little tiny neighborhood called Lents. I love living there. I have a cute little house with a bunch of pinball machines in it, a couple of pinball locations in Lents, and then a couple of other pinball locations outside of Lents. Beer Bunker in Montevilla. They just had the Montevilla Street Fair. I saw pictures. Holy macaroni. The streets were closed and crowded. I wonder if people played some pinball. And then also in Beaverton at Super Play, which is a bowling alley and laser tag place and arcade redemption center with pinball on the side. And you should go play pinball at all of the locations where I have pinball machines. Third thing this podcast is about, it's about pinball. I'm on the road. I was just in Indianapolis, visiting family. I went to my grandmother's funeral. It was really cool, interesting. The funeral was in my hometown, which that's not where my grandmother lived, but it's where some of my family still live. And the funeral took place 2 blocks away from the house that I grew up in. So it was a bit of a nostalgic trip, blast from the past trip. I got to drive by my high school. I went to my old house, drove around town, took pictures, saw how the place has changed. I don't spend a lot of time there. It's a little tiny town called Garrett, Garrett, Indiana. It was 5,000 people when I lived there. I bet it's 10,000 people now. I could look it up. Home of the railroaders. We were a locomotive or train-themed high school. And it's a cute little town. Still a cute little town. I wouldn't want to live there. It was nice to grow up there and then run away from. But there was a full Catholic Mass ceremony, viewing, family lunch, funeral. It was good. Billy, Joanne, Tootie, Vandy, Zandy. Got to see a bunch of family. Paying our respects to the matriarch of the family. She's a really, really cool lady. And I was gifted a handful of things from Tootie. They're kind of cleaning out her little apartment. So I got a velvet painting, an owl velvet painting. She was an avid collector of all things owls. So I got this really cool 70s painting, velvet painting of an owl. And she also was a gigantic Garfield collector. So I got a bunch of Garfield stuff and a bunch of square dancing stuff. Her and my grandfather, Robert Vandy Zandy, were professional square dancers. And I got a bunch of square dancing, like cufflinks and bolos and other little square dancing like trinkets and awards and stuff like that. So it was good to see family. And then I got to do a really cool road trip with my mom from Garrett / Fort Wayne, Indiana to Indianapolis, where she lives now. So we had 3-4 hours in a car just hanging, talking. I've talked about this on the podcast too, but my mom has cancer, and it was really good to get to hang out with her. We did a bunch of pinball stuff. We stopped at Wizard's World. She loves Wizard's World in Fort Wayne. Is it in Huntertown? Fort Wayne, Huntertown, that area. And bought her a tie-dye Wizard's World t-shirt. And we played a bunch of games, and she loves it there. And then we hung out that night, had dinner, and the next day was the Fountain Square Pincrawl Classic. And she played in the tournament, and it was really, really, really fun to do a tournament with my mom. It's a big one. It's the 4th annual Pinball Fountain Square Pincrawl Classic. There were 45 players, and it was long. It was 16 hours of pinball. She did half of the tournament and then decided that she was done. But it was 16 rounds of match play, and then 4 rounds of finals for the top 16. And we played at 4 different locations. She was there for the first 8 rounds of match play, and it was really, really fun. I like held her hand and walked her to each match and introduced her to the people she was playing with and coached her a little bit. We coined up together. She had a chair to sit in between plays, and all the players were super nice. I don't think any of them listen to this, but if you do, thank you so much for being nice to my mom. She did accidentally play somebody else's ball in round 1, or not play it, but launched it, and then that person caught it, and everything was cool. She got second in one match and got last in all the others, but the one she got second in, she got second in one match and third in another, and then last in the rest. The one that she got the second in, she beat me, which was awesome, on Matahari. And she had a really, really good time and made friends. She's new to living in Indianapolis. Did that stop my recording? I don't think so. I had a call come through, and I think it might have stopped my recording. It didn't. Okay, good. She made friends. She is going to start going to pinball events, which I think is awesome. So I sent her the calendar for Indianapolis pinball events, and I think she's going to go to Bells and Chimes and a couple other events, but it was really, really fun to coach her on pinball, and she was interested in having fun and learning how to flip, and she was good at skill shots. I was teaching her skill shots on modern games, and she would hit the skill shot. And then the other tip was just think of each flipper as an individual baseball bat, and when the ball is coming towards that flipper or baseball bat, swing like you're playing baseball, one flipper at a time. She got good at that. She really had fun, and the social atmosphere was fun for her too, so that was really cool. I played really well. I qualified 4th, got a double bye into the final. So I had 2 hours or so to kill before my finals time started. So I went and hung out with my mom for a little bit more. Went and had food with my father and his partner Brian. And then went back and did really well. Really, really well. I ended up getting second in the tournament. It was a long freaking day. I was dead tired. There were some dramatic moments. In the round of 8, I had to win the last game of my set to either beat or tie another player to make it to the Final 4. The last game was on Embryon. I rolled Embryon. Rolled it on ball 2. Ended with 1.4 mil. Did a huge bonus collect on ball 2. Mid-ball, I think. Or that's how it works, right? It was a nasty, nasty game. I was playing really good on solid state games. What else? Oh, then in the final, biffed the first game, played well on Gorgar the second game. First game was hard body. I did really, really bad. But this dude, I think his name was Chase. I want to say it was Chase. Last name Hornet. Maybe Horner. God, I should remember stuff like this. But he was a really good player. I think he was pretty high ranked. Maybe top 500, maybe top 300. He played really good, really controlled pinball, especially on solid state games that are risky. Like, he had a great game on Dolly Parton that was just technical. Trap, tap, spinner, trap, tap, spinner. Like, on one ball, I think 15 awesome trap, tap to lit spinner. For something like 900K or 980K, almost rolled it. It was pretty cool. I had a great game that game as well. I did like 400 or something. I was trap, tap, spinner, and felt great about that. I had a great game on Gorgar. And then to secure second place, I had to win the final game of the 3-match set in the final, and it was on Stargazer, and I just ripped. Ball one, million point ball one, maxed out that spinner that you can lock in on the drop targets, the first, like, immediately, and then 3 giant spinner rips, ball one, and then cleared those drops, so it started moving again, and I was like, let's max that out again. Backhand shot, just barely nicked a drop right at the right time, got the spinner maxed out again, and I think I got 2 more rips on it, and then 2 really big 10x side spinner hits. I can't remember if it was left or right, but the game makes that hum spinner sound when you hit it just right, and I waylaid it twice. It was nice. It felt real good to close out the tournament with a big win. 1.5 mil, and I think the folks who were battling for second with me both had, like, it was, they weren't competitive scores, like, and they were both great players. Joe Bear, I think is how you pronounce it, maybe Bear. Joe is really nice and one of the organizers typically in Indianapolis, and a freaking killer player. And Ryan Donahue, very nice person as well. I played a bunch of pinball with those guys in Indianapolis. But a mill ball one on Stargazer is like, I think it got in their head a little bit. Maybe not. Maybe they were ready to rip. Whatever. Maybe I'm just talking shit, not trying to. But they did not come back. I got second. So overall, super fun. Now I'm back in Nashville for work until the 7th, and then I head home. So it's good to be here. It's good to be on the road. I do miss my people and my dog and my pinball. And I've got a bunch of, this is what going way long. Sorry, I'm driving to work though, and I'm feeling chatty. I've got some stuff coming up when I get back. Hard Body and Airborne should be ready when I get back. Expanding games into the Z when I get back. Delta Queen is at the Z, flipping and ripping, which is cool. And I'm working on another game lot. I don't know exactly how it's going to work yet. I don't know if, or maybe it's not even a game lot. Maybe it's more like a bunch of games that I'm helping somebody with that will maybe go on location. Maybe there'll be some work done on them, but it could be a game lot. Maybe I get to buy a bunch of games again. Who knows? Lots of fun pinball stuff going on. And I hope you're all doing well and flipping and having fun too. All right, I gotta go. I gotta go to work. It's hot here. Oh God. Maybe I get to play a tournament here. I'm excited. All right, bye.